Okay, here we are. Oh, sorry. I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of misplaced apologies. I've also seen a lot of missed apologies, but that's a whole other video. The apologies I'm talking about sound something like this. Can I ask a question? Sorry to throw a curveball, but anyhow, sorry, that's just how I feel. Sorry. Perhaps you've seen apologies like these in your own team, or perhaps it's something you do yourself. See, a whole bunch of red flags go off when I hear this kind of thing going on in a team setting, and here are two of them. Red flag number 1, is sorry a sign that it's not safe to challenge? If people have to apologise for asking questions or for challenging an idea, then what might that be saying about the culture of that team? Is this a team that genuinely welcomes constructive debate and challenge from everyone? A lot of teams say they do, but I think the real test here is whether dissent is expected rather than merely invited. We've all been in groups where the invitation for questions or debate feels a little flimsy, more like lip service than anything. Whereas a team that expects debate, that expects some constructive challenge, builds it into the process. It allows time for it. It creates a method for getting dissenting views out and onto the table, in which case the only apology should be for failing to build that time in. So the next time someone says sorry for expressing a different point of view or for asking a question, maybe the best thing you can say is, you should never be sorry for questioning or challenging ideas in these meetings. In fact, let's allocate time to ensure we hear everyone's questions and perspectives, and then do it. Red flag number 2, is sorry being used as a way of avoiding responsibility? What about the situation where someone finishes their point by saying, sorry, that's just how I feel, often with their hands held up like this, palms facing outward, as if to say, don't arrest me, I'm not holding any weapons? In that instance, I always look to see if they are shirking responsibility for what happens next in the conversation. As if to say, here's my perspective, I know you're not going to like it, I just had to say it, but there it is, mic drop. But now, everyone else is left sitting there wondering, okay, so what do we do now? And although it might not be the intention, there's often a bit of passive aggression wrapped around this one. So if I'm facilitating a group conversation, one of the things I might say at a moment like that is, first, you should never be sorry for expressing your perspective. Second, here's my question for you. How do we take what you've just shared and turn it into an important part of the overall conversation? Now, a common response at that point might be, I don't know, I don't want to derail the conversation. Maybe I'm the only one who's thinking that way. I just had to get it off my chest. And maybe once more for good measure, sorry. But this is the critical moment. It's the moment where you need to help them come back to the table. You might say, well, maybe you are the only one thinking that way, and maybe you're not. Either way, it would be great to hear all views on this, and then let's see how that shapes the decisions we make. Sound okay? Of course, all of this only works in situations where you are genuinely open to hearing different points of view, even if that means holding off the discussion until a more appropriate moment in the conversation, in the agenda. You don't want to be taking any of these suggestions and using them insincerely. I mean, that's a surefire way to destroy trust. Okay, so here's your mission. Work at fine-tuning your radar to pick up those pesky misplaced apologies in your team conversations. And when you hear them, I mean, don't be obsessive about it, but ever so gently start to question the assumptions that might be sitting behind them, the mindset that might be going on there. All right, that's it from me. If you'd like to receive other tips like this straight to your inbox, well, make sure you sign up for my newsletter if you haven't already at simondowling.com.au. But otherwise, I shall see you next time. Sorry, coming. Yep, sorry I'm late. Sorry.